Good morning, YouTube. I totally did. What move is that? I think that's a move from Dragon Ball. I don't know. My inner child is active right now with some early morning cartoons in my mind. I am gonna be so pumped right now just because this meal I'm putting together is gonna be glorious. Even though it's very minimal. You know the drill. We got some caramel rice cakeys. We're gonna do 2. And we really gotta embrace this day, guys, because starting tomorrow, we're going from, I believe I have 110 carbs a day to 60 carbs a day. Isn't that wild? This is how it is, man. So, we're gonna do a scoop and a fourth of protein powder, which is gonna be 46 grams from this bad boy. And honestly, lately I've been loving, what is this? Cookies and cream flavor. Anything that is cookies and cream or just like vanilla, it just warms my heart. I'm honestly such a vanilla guy in general. Like, I love simplicity of flavor sometimes, and even in like different areas. Like, if you see me play Super Smash Brothers, my main is Mario. If I play Mario Kart, my main is Mario. Like, I'm so average. It's insane. It's insane. Let us get some water in here. Don't want too much because we want to make her thick, you know, thick with 2 C's or a Q. I think my wife likes the Q, not the C. I don't know. I believe there's a different emphasis when you change the character. Anyways, not too much going on this morning. It's a full day of eating, guys, so welcome to another day of me making more rice cake recipes. And I'm really excited for this one just because usually I've been using chocolate chips for the paste, like putting chocolate chips on top of the paste. But this time, we're using chocolate chips, but we are going to be using Mr. Beast's Feastables peanut butter. So we're using this one. And I checked the macros, and the macros are actually better, slightly better than the chocolate chips I was using from Great Value. And what inspired this? Honestly, I was listening to a Mr. Beast podcast the other day, which was yesterday. And man, the guy is so inspiring in a way where he's so young and he's learned business so early, and YouTube, the game in general. And it just like really gets me amped. I'm just like, man, like his intelligence and his experience in life, like he's experienced things super early on. And I'm like a late 20s guy. And I'm just like, man, I need to like, I don't want to say catch up, but I need to improve my own intelligence, right? And we have been in the last few years. I think one of the things I really admire about him is like he takes risks and he just kind of just relies on, you know, his dreams and his ambitions. And he's just like, I don't care. I want to do my thing. And for me, for so long, just because how I looked like, just my upbringing, I always felt like I had limitations and I wasn't good enough to do a lot of things. So I like held myself back for so long. And, but what gives me a lot of fuel and just like a lot of like, I guess motivation is one, I want longevity. The things I do, like I do want to set our family up for success just because one thing I really admire about my wife's childhood is she came from North Carolina, they live in a really big, nice home with like a nice porch, and their backyard was like a forest. And at least from my perspective, they weren't really like tuned into social media or a lot of like media in general. They were just very present people. So when I met her for the first time, like she really impressed me just because she's very intelligent in a way from a social perspective. Like you could tell she puts a lot of thought into her words and the things she does. And I really like that. And I want that the same thing for our own kids. Like, you know what's crazy? So she wants to homeschool our kids. And before I was kind of against it just because I feel like I turned out pretty good living in California, going to public schools. But I mean, I married her for a reason, and honestly, like, I fully trust her ability, and I know she's gonna be like a good mom and a good teacher. Like, she's teaching me so many things already. Like, yeah, go ahead, teach them from home if you want to. So I gotta grind, gotta work hard, make sure that I'm the provider to, you know, fulfill that, make that come true. So that's part of the motivation as to why I'm like doing my very best to, you know, be authentic here and just doing all I can to spread the value for bodybuilding and just like really enjoy the process and have a career in YouTube and also bodybuilding. That's just so fulfilling, because the last like couple jobs, or 3 or 4, they were like, I feel like I was just spreading myself too thin and I just wasn't fulfilling my full potential. So now that we're here, this is where we're supposed to be. Someone asked me like, what made you get into posing? And my answer was, honestly, it was divine. Like, I felt like the heavens was like guiding me to this moment. And I denied it for so long just because I put all these limitations. But now, you know, being a husband and having the responsibility and see myself as a father one day really drives me to, you know, give up those things I was hard on myself and just, you know, be a man and take care of Paige and myself. So I already tracked 30 grams of this, so half of a bar is 30 grams. I was gonna have half of a bar, but I'm not gonna be eating these on peak week, so I figured, I was like, you know what, let's just enjoy this last meal because my carbs and fat is getting low once again, guys. We're getting low. Get low. You guys know that song? It's a hip hop song. But yeah, so we're breaking apart the Feastables on top of these rice cakes, and holy cow, it's looking freaking bomb already. I'm gonna do a taste test. Wow. Mr. Beast was saying that there's a lot of bad ingredients in a lot of these companies that they're making, like Milky Way, Twix, Hershey's. He absolutely does not like Hershey's. Like, the amount of stuff in a Hershey bar compared to his is like way more, I guess you could say, healthier. But this is already tasting good. It tastes like definitely tastes like Reese's. Well, a little more moist, in my opinion. And a little more milky. I do like my milk, whole milk. I'm gonna show you a close-up of these bad boys. Mr. Beast coming in clutch. We're gonna get more of these for sure. And look at that. Look how beautiful she is. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid guy. And then the famous caramel. And then, hey guys, stay tuned. It's not this brand, but a brand reached out to me and we're gonna be working with a protein company. So use code Josh when it's out. And then that's my paste. We are gonna now do a taste test of this beauty as a whole. So here it is. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh. I'm such a weirdo, guys. Like, if you guys follow me, like, or subscribe, whatever, and watch my stuff, like, thanks for liking a weirdo. So, to be fair, being a weirdo builds a lot of character. Like, my wife is a weirdo, I'm a weirdo, we're weirdos together, and life is good. Life is good. Our relationship is fun as a whole. No regrets. That's so good. Just imagine an ice cream. And you got caramel in it with Reese's and cookies and cream on it, like Oreos. This is what it tastes like. Well, that's meal number 1. I'll see you at meal number 2. Look at that. Look at that. Beauty. I have to say, the hardest thing about Sundays, guys, here, is this even on? It is on. This, if you guys are ever recording videos, I feel like it's best to put it on the cap, even though it looks kind of weird. You look like, I don't know, like some sort of droid or robot, or actually I think it looks kind of cool. It's just like I'm like a commando, and yeah, it's just right there. Anyways, hardest thing about Sundays is that I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm just like sitting around. So the body craves like some sort of flavor like every hour. And usually I knock out 2 diet drinks. This is the one I'm going with right now, a day. And we're cutting out diet drinks for peak week. So what I do, if you guys are new here, is I get a cup full of ice, because ice takes up space. Am I right, Starbucks? You guys are always cheating us with these freaking big cups, and then they're like the same amount of like a small or medium. It's just you fill it up with so much ice, at least from what I heard. I don't drink coffee or tea anymore, so I wouldn't know. I haven't been there in a while. But yeah, this is actually, if you guys ever want to send a care package to me, even though I could just go pick it up at the store, this is my favorite of all time, because again, the nostalgia. I love strawberry shakes and I love strawberry smoothies. So these are it. These are it, man. So the reason why I put in a cup full of ice is just because I'm using the Starbucks method of, I could fill this up like 3 times. So 1 can equals 3 cups. So we're tricking the mind right now. Tastes exactly like a strawberry shake. I'm like at In-N-Out Burger drinking a strawberry shake. I don't have to spend $4 to $5 on a shake. Actually, there's some shakes that are like $6. Instead, I pay, what is this? A whole pack is $10, but at Fry's, it was buy 2 packs and get 3 free. I think that was the deal they were having for 4th of July. So keep a lookout with Fry's. Honestly, they're way better than Walmart with deals. We also got a care package from my friend Amanda, who is the owner of Scheming Cookie here in Arizona. So if you guys ever want to get really genuine, pure products where everything is tracked for you, I would recommend going with her. She dropped off cookies of, she made me a 4-pack for my show day, but personally, I don't want to have the temptation of eating all 4 cookies for show day. And so I'm gonna limit myself, and I'm gonna have half of one. I'm actually cutting out a lot of the food I have today so I can have half of this cookie. So look at that. It's called, what is it called? The Ladies Man. I am a ladies man. Actually, I'm a lady man. One lady, which is my wife. And the carbs, I mean, the carbs are 49, total fat is 15, and then protein is 8. Which I'm totally willing to sacrifice and like have to take out these carbs earlier in the day and just like not really eat carbs later in the night. I'm pretty much relying on my skinny boy genes and just being like, Josh, you've gone through 8 hours sometimes when you were young without any carbs because you were a nerd playing video games all day. I swear, I remember I completed Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the whole storyline, in a whole day. Like, bro, you could do this. So to distract myself throughout the day, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna film some content today for Instagram and here on YouTube for shorts and reels, just because I really need to get that knocked out. My energy is gonna be low for the next 3 days, and I'm gonna be traveling to Houston, Texas, so I wanna wipe that out. So yeah.
we're gonna do that to kill time. We also have church later today, so we have church at noon for a couple hours. And yeah, I'll see you at the next meal. My next meal will be, I'm actually having a diet drink every hour. No, just 2 diet drinks. So this right now, and then another hour I have another one. And then next hour after that, I'll have my next meal, which will be the cookie, and I might have a scoop of protein because I'm able to, we're like doing Tetris. We take out what I have planned today and replace it with the cookie, and it all still gonna add up to the 110 carbs, the 40 grams of fat, and then I believe 180 protein. So we're still hitting the macros perfectly. I actually did this last time and I was peaked right and we looked awesome on stage. So something about macros, guys, those meal plans, this is what happens. I have so much freedom, but we control it. We control it too. We're not gonna like eat half of this thing and be like, oh my gosh, that was so good, I'm gonna have the rest of it. It's just like, this is how we do it. Anyways, let's continue our day. All right, so an hour has passed, so we are moving on to our next drink, which is gonna be no sugar added, what does it say? Creamy coconut. You know, being Polynesian, my half Samoan heart thought I would really love this one, and I really did. When it first came out and I tried it, I was just like, oh wow, this is great, but I feel like I was following everybody's hype. I am so used to having coconut my entire life. Like, a lot of the dishes we make in the Samoan culture, there's a lot of coconut. And on top of that, I will say the nostalgia that this flavor gives me, on top of that, just coconut in general, it just makes me think about, so my mom, we would go to this thrift store, and also I guess it was like a distribution center where people donate stuff, and then like a thrift store. And outside of the thrift store, it was there was a lady that would sell like fruits and chili, and they would have coconuts on hand. So my mom would always get a head of coconut. Is that what you call it? Like a coconut head? And they would poke a straw in it and you just drink it, and it was just tasted so fresh. It was down in East Los Angeles, and so when I have any type of coconut, that's what I think about. My mom still gets it to today. Like, we would have that, and then my mom will like scrape the coconut like inside the white part out, and we would like eat it, and then we would even dip it in the chili too, or the hot sauce, whatever we would use. Nice. So that's what I think of when I have this Dr. Pepper. It's really good. I will say still the strawberry one is my favorite, and this one is like a close second place. I think overall I just like creamy feeling a lot better. And it's creamy, but it's not as overly bearing creamy like the strawberry one. And I love the cream. Like, I will say, like, when I get shakes, I do like the cream to be very vanilla-esque and very like, the flavor needs to be very enhanced and creamy. And one thing I've noticed that does a good job with that is if you go to the store, there's like birthday cake cream, and there's like low calorie ones too, I believe. And those are like really good. Just don't go too crazy on them. Like, the most I've used when I'm tracking is like 10 grams worth or 15, and it's like barely anything. So I plan on making more once in the off season, and once I have a little bit more carbs. Like, you could have that cream at very low carbs. You just gotta really manage and make sure you're not using too much sugar, or you can even use like sweeteners too. But yeah, this is can number 2, and that's it. We're done for diet drinks for the whole rest of next week. Monday comes around and we're not gonna have any diet drinks at all, so gotta embrace it all. So I'm gonna be sipping on this, and then in about 25 minutes I'm gonna be having my next meal, and after that we get ready for church and worship and really build a community in the area by listening to each other's testimonies and our faith in Christ and how God has guided us and helped us as a whole. I love Sundays. I look forward to them just because the whole week could be so like overwhelming. And even though I have my gratitude and I do my own worship here at home every day by scripture study and prayer having to be around a community and we're all just kind of like sharing and listening to people's stories is very, it reminds me that we're all like equals, and it also reminds me that we're all striving to be like Jesus and, you know, being a better person every day. So see you in the next meal. All right, guys, so this is the Scheming Cookie. It is called Ladies Man. Look how beautiful that is. Way better than a crumble cookie, man. It's a lot cleaner too. And then I'm having a paste of protein powder as well. So just 1 scoop. So we're gonna go over a taste test. See how this is. Oh man, the lighting is not that great. I'm looking dark, looking like some, there you go. Sweet, let's check it out. 85 grams is the serving size, so half a cookie. Tastes milky, tastes like the perfect, man, so good, so good. I'm gonna dip it in the protein paste, see how that is. It's peanut butter protein. The right creamy, man. Don't sleep on this, like go order them. They're like really awesome people. They track their stuff perfectly. My wife, she collabs with her, and well, I guess my wife works with her, and she's been in behind the scenes in the kitchen, so it's legit. Like, I fully trust that they're tracking everything perfectly, because I mean, she's seen it in person. Like, I know her. Super awesome. Prep is awesome, man. Especially when you like master macros. It makes the whole process a lot more easier. A lot more easier. And it's totally worth it too, like the amount of carbs that's in here. Like, again, even though I have not too many carbs to play with, like it's still manageable, like having this. I know, man, I wish you guys could try this. Actually, go try it. I don't have a code or anything, but you could order online. So search the Scheming Cookie here in Mesa, Arizona. Search that. Here are the carbs and all the above. Really good deal. Really good deal. I'm gonna enjoy this, get ready for church, and then I'll see you after church with my 3rd meal. So yeah, let's get it. Oh, before I go, I just want to give you the ingredients. So it's like all-purpose flour, brown sugar, butter, white chocolate chips, egg, Oreos, sugar, whey protein isolate. So that's where, yes, protein. Casein, protein, vanilla extract, cornstarch, salt, and baking powder. Yeah, contains milk, egg, and wheat. This is it, man. This is it. Love it. All right, guys, we're back from churching. What a great Sabbath day. Today's lesson I learned, or I guess what I was thinking about the most today, is truly living the life of the Savior, and how he is truly like the master and the perfect example of just how to live your life, really. Give me a second. Like, the man has so many like awesome attributes: faith, obedience, diligence, and with that diligence, hard work, and charity, chastity, just all the above. And today I was just reflecting on how I can emulate those attributes that he has, and hope, and yeah, there's just so much to it. So it really makes me think of like, how often do I think about the Savior during the day, and how I could apply him in my everyday life? Because I do apply and remember him through the beginning of my day, right? Through prayer, gratitude, and so forth. And but sometimes I have to step back and be reminded and think about, the
sacrifice, His atonement that He did for us to really just internalize myself as a person and how I can be more like Him. He's a perfect example of like, the more good you do in this life, good will come to you. I used to think not the exact opposite, but I used to think like, you know, the good guys always lose, or good guys aren't rewarded in this life. But lately, as I've like applied kindness in my day to people, even like on social media, I used to get a lot of hate comments when I first started doing the whole posing stuff, where people would not agree with me, or what I'm doing is like bad, or even people would just make fun of my physique and say it just wasn't big enough, I don't have the look, or people would be like, wow, like I wonder if your posing would be good enough for you to do well in the division and everything. And you know, before I used to be insecure and like be concerned with that, but if I ever get negative comments now, it's like I just simply just think about like that individual and how I could do better and bring more value to their day. And I get it. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, they're just jealous because they're not getting what you have, Josh. And honestly, I don't even know what I have sometimes. So I've truly learned that, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. And what brings more fulfillment is really emulating a perfect being, a perfect person, who I strongly know to be Jesus. And I live my very best to be more like Him every day. And it's just, there's so much value behind His lifestyle of living. Even if you don't believe He is like the Son of God, there's so much like beneficial like discoverment of yourself when you live the way of someone who is like an awesome person, and He is like the one, right? So I'm not trying to preach to you guys. Again, this is a journal. I'm just like voicing my thoughts and how I feel, and hopefully my kids who are watching this, whenever they are able to understand anything or everything I'm saying, you guys know that this is what your Father believes. So love you guys. I'll see you at the next meal. Let me show you a close-up of the tuna. So nothing crazy, just some broccoli and tuna with hot sauce, the pica sauce, our essential pica sauce. We just killed it just because we've had this for way too long. We need to move on to something different. Bon appetit. And there you have it, guys. This is the last meal. I believe it was about 10.2 or 10.8 ounces of chicken, and then 120 grams of broccoli. I was supposed to have 2 rice cakes, but I told myself, you know what, let's have broccoli instead. We want to feel a lot more full. And then our trusty Valentino sauce on it, and then I put cilantro, tequila, lime, and then our trusty old water for tomorrow. We're actually going to be drinking 2 gallons of water starting tomorrow, so yeah. And then this is a cookie we're going to be having tomorrow as well, only 1/4 of it. We tracked it perfectly, so we got it locked in. And just to close off, guys, really grateful for everybody that is interested in my journey in bodybuilding as a whole, and things are picking up. We are working with Manifest, so if you guys ever need anything that has to do with having the best shorts in the game, I recommend Manifest shorts. Use code Josh. And also there's another announcement I have. So I'm going to be working with a supplement brand. I won't say the name, but if you guys are really anxious and want to know and want to support us, Paige and I, right away, go on my Instagram, it's on there, and use code Josh.
I am so grateful for all you guys again. Wishing you guys an awesome day, and get ready, because once things start kicking up, I'm gonna be making a lot of recipes, from pancakes to rice cakes to oatmeal to shakes with the supplement company. So I'm really genuinely excited, and I'm just excited to give you all the value of how you could make delicious meals with protein. So again, you guys have a good night. Be uncommon, fear mediocrity. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Go destroy your goals.